I would like to mention, well, basically, I would like to draw to people's attention what is going on within the victim sector. As some of you may know, I've been sort of out of the thing for a few weeks, but I'm back out again, and I've been meeting people and talking to people. And I have to say, I'm utterly and totally disgusted with our representation. You see this book here, it says on a bandit country. The reason it says that is because we live in one of the most affected areas of Northern Ireland. And just to give you an example of what FAIR has been doing for this last number of years, we have raised the issue of victims right from 1998, and we have fought for the rights of victims. And as you'll see, if you look through some of this book here, some of the things that we've had to deal with. We have an inquiry going into the King's Mills massacre. We got an inquiry into the Breen Buchanan murders. It was us that got it. Nobody else. FAIR got that inquiry going. We saved the British taxpayer millions, where we closed down some of the rackets that was going on by highlighting them, forcing the police and the government to move on them. So, there's a lot of things that have been done by the victims, which has helped the community. But now they think they're finished with the victims, that the people who's paid the heaviest price of all, they'll throw us to the side. And now they've got this commission, which we warned about at the start. People remember what we said about the commission. They're trying to do away with all the victims groups, but they know they have to destroy FAIR first and foremost, because FAIR, and a lot of people mightn't like this, but FAIR has been the voice of the innocent victims for this last 12 years. But I have news for them. We're going nowhere. The IRA wouldn't drive us out of here. We are not, and I repeat, we're not going to allow some of our own politicians. And I say some because we know exactly who's behind it. And thankfully not all of them are supporting what is going on at the top. But OFMDFM, there is a policy in there to destroy FAIR. It's not going to work. They may cut funding, they may do whatever they want, but the one thing they have never been able to do is to find FAIR guilty of misuse of any funds that went to the victims. And a matter of fact, if you even look at the Libyan case, there's hardly a member of FAIR on that writ. There's certainly no members of my family on that writ, or my name on that writ. Why? Because we didn't want people saying that we were in this for money, because we were never in it for money. We're in it for justice, and we're still in it for justice. Now, our enemy, sometimes we think they all wear a hood, but sometimes the enemy within is a greater danger than the enemy that we think we know. But the one thing I'll have to say here is they have united our people. They've united the victims. We had a church service there a couple of weeks ago, which has been the biggest church service we've had from we were formed. We had a function the other night, and it was packed to the gills, which was organised within a few weeks. People are coming to us left, right and centre. We can't cope. We haven't got the workers, but we've got the victims coming to us. Why? Because they know that we're genuine and we're not in it for political gain. We're in it for what's right. And people who have lost their loved ones, and indeed people who have lost their limbs, they are not going to be left without a voice again. Our politicians do not speak for them and have not spoken for them. And it's unfortunate that we're now having this debate, because let me tell you this. It took us to go onto the streets in 1998 to raise the issue of victims. Well, the victims are now less an issue, or every bit as less an issue as they were in 1998. So they're leaving us no choice but to go back onto the streets. And we will go back onto the streets. We will not be intimidated by politicians or by government who think, well, let's get rid of these dinosaurs. Well, that's okay. Get rid of the dinosaurs. Get rid of the people who still throwing the bombs and doing the shootings and intimidating the people within our community. Get rid of them. You've made the promises to us. And the one thing I would like to say to the people who live in the Bangor areas and the Newton Ards areas, I'm glad that you live in a community where you are reasonably safe. But we don't. We never have. But for our sacrifices, you reap the rewards. And what we're asking you now is just for a justice to be done for our people. We're not asking for any financial gain from anybody. All we are looking is for people to do the right thing and for to challenge your politicians. Why are you doing what you are doing? Why has everything been choreographed to try and close fair? Because it won't close fair. No matter how much they try, they will not close fair. I can guarantee you that now. Because the only thing that's happening at the minute is more people are coming to us. As a matter of fact, like, the number of well-wishers has been unbelievable. And I hope we don't have to channel that in a direction. And when I say channel it in a direction, channel it in a direction of the people who are trying to basically destroy us. They want our voice removed. Ain't going to happen. No matter how much. And if they haven't realised that by now, they're never going to realise it. So it's unfortunate that now the people with the hoods, although they're still there, but the other people who want to set the agenda, and I will give you examples. I will start to give you examples. I'll ask you to remember the Eames Bradley situation. Remember what happened with Eames Bradley. Remember the outcry about the £12,000. Well, here's one example. In a couple of weeks' time, I will tell you who told Eames and Bradley to put that in to that report. And it wasn't Sinn Féin, and it wasn't the government. But I will tell you exactly who told them to put that into the report. Because they told me who told them to put it in. And it wasn't Sinn Féin. I will start to tell you as we go along some of the things that has been going on. Now remember the outcry about that. Because that £12,000 was blood money. And I just say, watch this space. In a couple of weeks' time, I will tell you who told Eames and Bradley that would buy off the Protestant people. Now, that's only an example of what's to come. There is numerous other things. And, I have to give you an example. For years, we were getting phone calls, we were getting people coming to our doors from certain political parties, we were getting this, we were getting that. We were asked to go here, asked to go there. Now, they won't even lift the phone. Why? Because fair's changed? No. Fair hasn't changed. The principles and the objectives of fair is still the same as they always were. And they will not change. Not for any money or any price will we change our objectives. And that means us suffering again, so be it. We will bear that suffering because we have bared it in the past and we'll bear it in the future. But it's an utter and total disgrace where it's coming from. And it will waken a lot of people up whenever they hear some of the stories of what went on. And I just say to you, remember Eames and Bradley, and you will be very, very surprised who the people was that pushed Eames and Bradley to include the £12,000 and actually said that would make the prods happy. In other words, they could buy us. Well, they found that the majority of people cannot be bought, and it is still a situation. We will not and cannot allow ourselves to dishonour our dead. They may forget about them, but we have to live with it. And we owe it to the people who paid the ultimate sacrifice for this country not to betray them. And we will not betray them.